Hello, welcome to Eve. This is going to be our, I believe, second first impression video ever. I say I believe because I'm actually working on our first two at the exact same time, but I believe this will be the second. I'm checking out a really old game today, Eve Online. I used to play it as a kid, honestly, but I really don't remember anything from it. So I'll be looking into it from the beginning, and basically we're gonna see what it's like for a new player starting this game in its new free-to-play format. You start out with something known as an alpha clone. You have limited access to the game, similar to playing old school RuneScape as a free-to-play member. And we're basically just gonna see, is this worth it? Is it worth it to play free? Do you have to pay to enjoy this game? Well, I'm gonna take a look, test out everything I can a little bit, see what the first day or so of gameplay is like, and we'll find out. So first off, you gotta pick your empire. Now, I believe for most people that play this game, picking your empire really doesn't mean anything, because no matter what you pick, you can still train everything in the game. There's no race-specific stuff. Now, if you're playing as an alpha clone, a free-to-play player, I do believe you are limited to skills and ships of the faction you choose. So if you are planning to try this game for free and not pay that $15 monthly Omega time, you're going to want to pick your faction. So let's take a look at the options here. So first we have the Caldari. These are, I guess, a preview of their ships. A battleship, the Raven. Look at this. The Caldari specialize in long-range missiles and railguns, apparently. And they apparently rely heavily on shields. I know there's multiple forms of defense. And then it shows you their politics, like which of the other 4 starting empires and races that they dislike. And I guess their pirate enemy, I guess that's something similar. So I'm going into this as a first impressions. I really don't know very much, honestly. I just the basics that remain in the game from when I started it. Let's see, the Galentin, of course, don't like the Caldari. I don't know who these pirates are, honestly. I don't think they matter too much. I think this is the main screen that matters the most, letting you know what they use. Galentin, or Galente? I'm gonna say Galente. The Galente specialize in blaster weapons and drones, apparently shorter range, but drones I know can go kind of far. Even though it says short range, you gotta remember this is space. I don't think short range actually means short range, just in that you probably won't be able to sit on the other side of a solar system, shoot a missile, and wait an hour for it to hit its target. You'll be more like 20 miles away from each other shooting blasters, if you call that short range. And here's a preview of their ships, and okay, we have a tapeworm. Let's see, the Minmatar. Okay. Alright, now this looks like something out of like Starpoint Gemini. That's what these ship designs look like. What do they specialize in? Let's see, projectile weapons. Use a wide range of ammunition with both high damage and long range artillery and rapid firing short range autocannons like this, I believe. Also, shield tanks like the Caldari. Okay. Hit and run engagement. So I guess these guys are less sit there and tank enemy shots, more maneuverable, I guess? I don't know. That's not the best description. And they do not like the Amar. I know this is just flavor text. It doesn't mean anything because this is not really a story-driven game. As far as I'm aware, this doesn't have a story like most MMOs of any kind, outside of like tutorial missions. And then finally we have the Amar. Ooh, their pirate enemy looks badass. They don't like the Minmatar. Oh, they consider them a holy they consider themselves holy, the chosen people. Oh god. Alright, chosen people, what are you good at? Energy weapons. Deliver instant firepower without the constant delays for reloading, and they're an armor tank like the Galente. Okay, so heavy fucking firepower on these guys. Nice. For all intents and purposes, I think I'm gonna go Galente, just for a mixture of, I like their whole, they got like a democracy kind of republic standpoint that seems kind of nice, without all the corruption, which is, I believe, what the Caldari are. You know, I can pick kind of RP based for the purposes of the alpha clone, though. What I do like about the Galente style is I like drones, and I believe, judging off this, that they'll have good setups for drones, and I want to dabble especially in PvE. I heard PvE is not really that good of a moneymaker in Eve, especially as an alpha, but it's fun to me. So we're gonna go with the Galente and see how this glorious thing turns out. Now here's your bloodline, or this is what I was referring to when I said race earlier. Now as far as I remember, this used to do something when I played, and it doesn't do anything at all anymore except affect how you look. I want to go with the Galente. And I'm gonna go with male, because if you can't tell my voice, I am not a woman. Well, we have a handsome, young, strapping lad here. Oh, and I see he has his, yeah. You can really fuck with the character design here, just by, like, dragging it seems, yeah. You don't even need to access, like, a slider, you just drag. Now, one thing, I'm noticing a lot of aliasing here, which you may or may not be noticing. I forget if that displays in the video or not. But one thing I noticed is this game didn't give me a graphical setting screen at the start of the game. It just kind of threw me into my character creation, so I wonder if we're going to get that later. Wait! Anorexic! Oh god. I do not feel adequately represented. I see no ribs showing. I want to look as thin as I do in real life. I am disappointed. Sadly, this is not one of those sliders where as you use them, it takes effect. You have to use it and then wait for it to take effect. Complexion. As white as we can get. Yes! Oh, you know, so many games don't let you be, like, fucking pale-ass white. And that always upsets me because pale-ass white is the fucking way to be. It shows that you never leave your pod or room. And, yeah. We got... oh my god, we can be, like, the fucking Grudge. Holy shit. Hair. Every strapping young lad needs a good haircut. So sadly, this game came out in, like, 2003. So all those great edgy emo haircuts really weren't a thing. So I think this is the best we're gonna get. I could change the root color and the hair color. Now that's pretty cool. Now eyebrows. I always never know what to pick for eyebrows because let's be honest. Can you show me a pair of eyebrows that actually don't look just like weird? Like just weird hairy little caterpillars crawling on someone's face? That looks normal, right? I think that's normal. Facial hair. Oh, what happened? Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, the fucking character really looks pretty high quality in some regards. Especially for the year this game came out. I'm sure they've had some graphical updates since then, but look at that. Don't I look edgy? This is great. Oh, I love this. 10 out of 10. Lips. I can only have 2 lips. Wait a minute. Okay, can you please tell me the difference between these 2 lips? I don't see any difference at all. You can choose how your shirt is tucked in. Oh, wow. I gotta wonder, why are there tucking options for the pants? Oh, that's why. You can look like a strapping young lad or not a nerd. So for some reason, he's holding his shoulder back like he's a fucking cripple. But, yeah. I'm like taking a picture of him. What the hell? Oh, is this my profile picture? Am I taking a profile picture, dude? Dude, there's more backgrounds than there is actual character customization. Oh, this is the edgiest lighting. Look at this. This is like fucking a Batman picture. Why am I seeing this in my neck? Why is my neck breaking? Dude, it's like my neck is slit off of my body. What the fuck? It's actually, like, separate to my face. Oh my god, I can change his fucking expression, can't I? I can change his expression, and that's why my head is separate to my face. Oh my god. Alright, I'm not gonna fuck with this too much. Oh god. Oh, and then I immediately start fucking with it. Yeah. I'm not being forced to smile. My name's Resoula. And I like fruity pebbles. I actually don't. This is a handsome smile. Look at this. Look at this. Our guy cleans up, dude. My name's Resoula, and I approve this character creator. Fucking yes. Let's go. That's 10 out of 10. I just made that my picture. Ooh. Alright, what is this? Choose your ancestry and your education and my name. I have a name? Alright. Immigrants. No other nation is as welcoming to immigrants as the Galente Federation. What does this do? Does this give us anything? Minors and activists. So I have no idea what these ancestries do, and they don't really tell me. I assume this education does something, though. Okay, so I looked it up, and turns out this means literally nothing. Your ancestry literally actually means nothing. It's just tacked on to your character profile. So I don't even know why it's in the game. And education actually chooses your starting location. It chooses which of the 3 systems you start in for your chosen empire. Apparently, it really doesn't matter which you pick because nobody's really going to be near you anyway. Alright, so we're making a new character. Resoula Rain. He's going to start here, wherever this starts us. Apparently, he's an activist. I don't really give a fuck, but I don't really care to be a minor. I mean, I could just make it a minor. Yeah, it's not going to affect anything. Let's go. Submit this picture as your portrait. Yeah, dude, look at it. I'm Resoula, and I approve this message. Let's go. Yeah. Alright, we're entering the game. First time entering the game. Honestly, I've spent 30 fucking minutes making my character. Just to let you know how long this took. My ship! Whoa. This is my chat. Aura. My first flight. A distress signal. Oh god, how do I look around? Oh, shit's just blowing up. Oh, okay. Someone's under attack. That's not good. Alright, so I have to approach it and then stop the ship. Why isn't it just... Why is there not an option to just approach and stop when I get there? Wouldn't that make more sense? How many miles is that? Is that like 40 miles? 50? That's a far fucking way away. Holy shit. And I can just see over there like it's nothing, meaning this is fucking gigantic. I don't like how I have to zoom in, I scroll down. To zoom out, I scroll up. That seems backwards. Presentation interval. Is that a fancy way to say VSync? It might improve performance at the cost of memory. I mean, more performance is good, right? And it doesn't reduce anything. Alright, their menu could do with being larger or having bigger words or being expandable. This is all kind of small and I have to lean into my monitor to really see it. Master level, yeah. The master level starts so low. This game's actually really quiet by default. So I'll drag that all the way the fuck up. And here's all the hotkeys you can make. Oh my good fucking god. I love how this ship is just kind of chilling here now, waiting for... Oh no, he's not waiting for us. He's been beating the shit out of me while I've been fucking with settings. Oh god. Well, this was a terrible mistake. Fucking with my settings right then and there. Alright, I lock target. Okay, now I'll fight. Fire! Why are you not firing? Okay, you are firing. It's just a really shitty weapon that is somehow beating the shit out of that thing. Oh my god, how are we doing this? It's been shooting missiles at us for the past like 10 minutes while I was in a menu and it barely did any damage. We were almost killing it with this little shitty laser that keeps looking like it's missing it even. Alright. So I had a little pop-up down here that just allowed me to inject my 750,000 skill points. So I guess one thing I can explain right now is that if you use someone's referral link to sign up for this game, you actually get 750,000 skill points, which allows you to bypass 19 days of training, I believe, And skill points can be seen. There you go. So this is where you find your skill points and stuff. So in this game, you get skills not by doing things, but by training things. Skills take a long time to train, as you can see. Shit takes like 14 hours a day, 9 days, etc., etc., etc. As an alpha clone, you can only queue up 24 hours, kind of, before you can stop. Before you have to stop. Skill at social interaction. So good that we can just pay to train shit like this. Well, I know I'm gonna need drones for shit later on, so let's just drag some drone stuff in here for now. So, training in EVE works like this. You drag stuff in, they train. It's a time limit. You only train one skill at a time. Each skill does different things. There's a lot of skills. You can queue things up. See, this is a time, so if I get rid of this, you'll see this time now goes down. So, drag this in. When this number adds up, these numbers add up to 24 hours, I can no longer train stuff because I'm an alpha. If I was omega, I would be able to. Highlighted above one in yellow, you'll see a lot of the skills are now yellow. You see up there, up around here. That's showing me what skills I can and cannot train as an alpha. As you see, most skills cannot be trained when you're a free-to-play player. Also, you get less training speed as a free-to-play player. That's why getting these skill points is such a nice thing. It's a lot of things to get you off the ground at the very beginning. When I originally played the game forever ago, you didn't have this kind of stuff. So this is definitely a nice thing. And it's definitely worth using someone's referral link now because of that. It doesn't hurt you at all. You get 19 days worth of training and skill points. I'm not sure if that's alpha clone training or omega clone training. I imagine it's omega clone. So that's a lot. There's other ways to get skill points other than just training it, but those cost in-game money or real-life money in some cases. This is kind of a thing where nothing can be exclusively obtained with real money. Everything's sort of available in-game for the in-game currency known as ISK. And whenever you use someone's referral link, you actually do help them, sort of. If you end up buying game time, then they get some free Plex, which is the premium currency. If you end up buying premium currency, then they get a skill injector, which essentially gives you more unallocated skill points, which you can then just use to train anything immediately. And then there's another one, like if you buy a booster or something, then they get something else. I don't know. But essentially, you should always use someone's referral link to sign up for this game because it helps you and it helps them. I will leave my own referral link in the description if you guys would like to use mine. If you would like to not, that is fine. So this game has corporations, which is kind of like guilds, and it starts you out in a newbie guild, I guess, for whatever one of these starting areas you pick. So I picked Center for Advanced Studies, so now I'm in a newbie guild for this starting location. And I can find my corp chat here. It actually has several hundred members that are online right now. It's not involved in any wars. Wars, when they go on while you're in a corp, means that you can get attacked in safe space by other players. And if friendly fire was legal, then your own corp mates could kill you and no one would really suffer any consequences. As it stands, you're safe in these corps, it seems. No one can attack you without being blown up if you're in a high security area. So let's see, the agency, tutorial. So I guess this is where they pumped the tutorial into. Triglavian invasion, that's some big event that's happening now. I think a bunch of AI are coming in and attacking people and shit. This seems pretty cool. I think I joined EVE at a very interesting time in its history. Yo, I gotta tell you, the information you get at the beginning of the game is overwhelming. I mean, they clearly direct you to do the tutorial. I'm just taking a look at everything else and like, look at this. You got like agents and missions is just one tab, and then you have like 10 tabs under this, like, and there's all these different types of missions you can get, and there's epic arcs that you need to qualify for, and look at it, 0 of 52 missions complete. And then, like, what? It's like, these are actual storylines, I think. You really shouldn't be like me and just look over everything, because you're gonna get really overwhelmed really quick. So as a random fact, I just learned that there's something called security status, and this apparently shows how well behaved you are and or otherwise, and if it gets too low, decides whether or not the space police will actually just attack you and high security space. I find this pretty interesting, just thought I'd share it. So it seems in order to use your unallocated skill points, you need to first get a bunch of things training, then you click this button, and then it'll tell you how much it will cost to basically train everything. And if you don't have enough, I believe it will just train up to as far as it can. And I think you can toggle some of these on and off. No, maybe not. You might just have to remove them from the queue. But yeah, that's how this works. Otherwise, you could just wait the full time. Or if you don't have enough, you can just get some skill injectors. But I don't know enough about those to tell you about them in a first impressions. So I just discovered another thing actually on your character sheet, which you can get to just by clicking your little thing here or hitting Alt-A as it shows, or you can rebind it. You can actually click this right here to your medical clone location so that when you die, you can actually change where you're respawning. To do that, you just hit change station, and you can change it to your current station or your original spawn location. So I guess that's one good thing for picking where you start the game. You might want to pick where you start a game with a friend so that if you both die, if you want to respawn at the same place and you don't share a current station, you could always do this. And apparently you can also just kill yourself. So that's fun. So we're starting our first mission now. We're outside of the station. Apparently we could just use this to get to our first tutorial mission.
Warp drive
active. Oh, yeah, we just have to click it and it'll start sending us there immediately. Alright, cool. There's a lot of information to take in. I actually spent a good 30-40 minutes just looking at everything. So we're basically just fucking up some ships right now. I already destroyed one and now we're destroying another one. These controls definitely feel old school. Controls is in the hotkeys. I might definitely suggest doing some changing to get it more to your liking. Alright, so now it's teaching me all about how weapons have fall-off ranges. I guess I don't think this would entirely matter for all types of weapons, because I imagine, missiles would just keep going. I guess they could lose some, I don't know, velocity over time, but I can see that my guns have fall-off ranges where the DPS kind of goes down. And there's a setting where you could just keep an enemy at range. Oh my god, it's firing at me, and luckily I have the single turret of death that destroys everything in the tutorial without issue. And a mining laser that I don't think I can really use on them. Yeah, no. Oh well. Velator seems to be enough to get me through. That's my starting ship. It looks like it misses half the time, but it still hits. It's weird. So I'm just noticing now it actually tells you if you miss or hit right here, or at least if you miss. I'm so far away with this gun that I'm just completely missing it. And then, it tells you if you hit and how much damage you do, and I guess what type of damage you do? Yeah. Yeah, that's a type of damage right there. Okay. Interesting. And what kind of hit it is? A glance, penetration, graze, hit, like a crit? That's cool. It's kind of RPG-ish. Like something you'd see out of D&D. It's pretty cool. I like this. I like this system. For a spaceflight game, kind of like it is, I wouldn't expect it to have systems like this, which is pretty cool. So one thing I'm noticing as I'm doing these tutorials is it's giving me little trainings in skills that I didn't already have, so it's definitely worth doing the tutorial, whether you're brand new or not. That actually just gave me a skill that would have taken me 7 hours or 14 hours to train had I actually queued it up. Yeah, 14 hours. It just gave it to me for doing a tutorial mission. Definitely do your tutorial missions. Alright, so this time around they want me to fight something with my afterburner on, so that my top speed is increased, so that I can't get hit as much. I don't know if that's actually viable in regular combat, but I mean, we'll do it for this tutorial. Oh, my weapon's not loading. Oh, I didn't lock on, because I'm a fucking idiot. Or is... actually, I don't know what the hell's happening, dude. think my turn rate is all kinds of fucked up when I have this afterburner on. Because I may be moving faster, but boy, I am not turning worth shit. I was trying to get a lot closer than it let me. The hell is all this shit? There's a bunch of Chinese cargo containers everywhere. What the fuck?
Docking permission requested.
What is this? Someone just dropped stuff all over space? Someone that's Chinese?
Docking request accepted.
I'm very confused. I know if you open yellow stuff, you can actually get blown up by other players, so that could just be a trap to kill noobs as like a jerk kind of thing, for all I know. 1-800 eat shit. Chat is always a beautiful thing, no matter where you are. You know, a lot of people that play this game, when they do the fighting, they always like zoom all the way out and don't look at what they're fighting in the slightest. Oh my god. Okay, I kind of like watching the fighting. It's kind of like watching a fight in an RPG. That is super unimmersive when you just kind of fly through some shit, but it's still kind of cool. So I'm flying in and out of like rocks and shit, and I don't know what's happening. It's really concerning. I guess this game is too old to afford colliders, though. I wonder why the explosion is always separate from where the wreck appears. I wonder if that's like a glitch or something. Apparently an activity tracker is a thing. I don't think I understand how this works though. I'm gonna have to take a look at this after this mission. I like all these cool stations and areas and all this shit in space just randomly. This has to all be like randomly generated, right? This can't just be here for everyone's story mission. Otherwise, what happens if multiple people are doing it at once? The fact that they could just randomly generate this kind of stuff is really kind of cool. Not many games can say they do this. I mean, hell, look at No Man's Sky. So there's something called an activity tracker. And just by playing the game, you get points in this. At the start, it's giving you combat experience in non-capsuleer combat, which is PvE, and mainly in destruction. It gives you these points, but I'm not sure if you can actually spend these points on anything, or if this is just some sort of achievement tracker. It doesn't seem like it can be cashed in any way. Moreover, just tracking what you do. So after you do the tutorial missions, it points you at the career path agents, which are like more advanced tutorials and all the different things you can do in the game. And I believe going through these, you get more rewards like you do in the tutorial, and even free ships. So this is a Stargate, and I guess this is how we get around systems. Yeah, you jump to one, you jump through it, and it brings you to the next system that you're going to. Because you can't just warp everywhere, it seems. When you do warp somewhere, you start out cloaked. So that's good. So when you jump in, you maybe can't immediately get fucked up by some random gate camp. It may not work like that, though. I may be completely wrong. Who the fuck knows? Having gone through the basic tutorial stuff so far, I can honestly say so far that my thoughts are pretty positive. The controls are really outdated and do require some tweaking if you don't just want to be stuck doing mouse clicks for almost everything. I wish the zoom could be inverted as well as the way to look around in the mouse. With the mouse, I wish it could be changed to right click instead of left click to drag, you know what I mean? I wish there was a little more story, but I'm not expecting that from this game. I never came into this expecting story. So far, I'm loving everything I'm getting, and I'm barely even scratching the surface. Oh, I like how it tells you the security rating of the system you're going to right here. That's really weird. That's like... So in this next system, we don't exactly perfectly guard it, but, you know, it's like an 8 out of 10. We mostly guard it. Another thing I like about this game is that it's one giant, like, mega server for everyone playing the game. So you're in a big universe with every single person in the game. There's no other servers, there's no private servers like Elite Dangerous, or, you know, other servers like Terra and etc., but it's just one big server, and that's pretty fucking cool. I like that. It's nice. Oh man, the career paths these agents that are like advanced tutorials for all the different things you can do in the game give you 10 missions each? Holy hell. Wow, that's a bit of an investment. You have quite a lot to do when you start the game, it seems. So one thing I'm realizing right now is that these career path agents are actually a part of the starting corporation that you get thrown into when you pick your starting area in the game. And one thing I noticed is that this actually has an 11% tax rate. I'm not sure if that comes out of like your kills or your trades or a little bit of everything, but I wonder if you can leave these. This is apparently called salvaging. This looks kind of terrifying. And you can fail it. I'm not quite sure what salvagers do. Are they like picking a lock? It's a scanner to find items. Okay, it feels more like I'm picking a lock than anything else. So guys, there's something I have to comment on here regarding something that I found out. So in an earlier tutorial mission, I looted some ships that were around me just out of curiosity, and I got like 4 of these, right? I was thinking, you know, I'm new, I might be able to sell them for something. Every little bit helps, especially when I'm free to play. And I looked, and at the station that I was going to sell them at, someone was buying them for 10 ISK. I saw the most someone was buying it for nearby was 30. I just happened to come to this station. I figured I'd sell it here. And then I stopped for a moment. I looked up here and I realized something. All the other buy orders were so high, like 20k. How can there be a difference between 30 and 20k? And then I realized how much these people are buying and how much people are selling. And it just kind of hit me that these people must be buying it from noobs at dirt cheap to resell them elsewhere at these actual prices. To test it, I kind of undercut by like 1,000. Just to test. And I've just sold one of the 4 within like a few minutes. That is such a wide range. You can accidentally sell this for 10 to 30 ISK each when you can actually get away with selling it for 20,000 ISK. I played many MMOs with many different market systems. Even old school RuneScape, you know, Guild Wars 2, all these things. I've never seen a market where you can actually fuck yourself over this badly if you just suck at selling shit. It's not a bad thing, actually. I quite like it. It's not as easy as selling shit in like RuneScape, for example, but it's a free market, you know? That's really cool. I like that. Maybe I shouldn't have undercut by this much. Maybe we should do that. Modify order up to 999 fucking 7. No, 99. I can't type 7. So I can make a bit more money out of this. Yes. And now I'm still the lowest price in this station, and I'm still charging less than this guy's charging. Okay. That's pretty cool. Trading and manipulating the market, flipping, I guess this would be flipping, not trading, is a big thing. Trading doesn't exist like it does in Elite and Free Space. You know, buy at one station where it's generally the same price, go to another station and sell it there. No, here I mean, these guys are doing that, but here you can kind of sit in a market probably if you want and just in a station and hey, I'll just buy it for this here. And I can also just sell it for this here. It's a hell of a way you can make a lot of profit. Of course, these prices are nothing. You know, long-term players have millions, billions, so a couple thousand's nothing to them anyway. But I just found this really interesting. I've never seen a market that works like this in an MMO, at least not that I recall. So this is really cool. Uh-oh. This pirate faction doesn't like me a little bit. Whatever will I do? So can you actually gain rep with pirate factions? You can! You can gain reps with pirate factions? These are pirates, right? I think so. I think you can actually gain rep with pirate factions. That's kind of weird, but kind of cool. So the business career path is going interesting. The description of it was make money while sitting back and let others doing the work for you. So far, I have done industry fetch quests, mining, and now I'm doing combat. This seems to be a combination of literally all the other tutorials, less its own as it described. It's kind of misleading in that regard. Okay guys, so the game right now has just given us a task that requires us to kill some guys and scan them with this trusty little relic scanner. The game actually already had me do this once before, but I forgot to really commentate during it. It was for a data site. Now I believe this is similar. It's actually a sort of mini game where you have to kind of like find some sort of program core and beat it up with a virus to personify it. Let's go to the mission location now, and I can hopefully show it to you and actually sort of commentate on it. It's kind of a weird mini game, but it's not just a mini game. It's an active way you can make money. It's in fact a rather profitable way people make money. Of course, with every profit comes risk, but it's quite a popular profit-making method outside of PvP from what I've seen. So going about the mission, I encountered something really strange. If I hit group all weapons, it puts everything into my second weapon slot instead of my first. I have to like drag and drop to properly do that. That's just a weird little observation. Nothing big, nothing game-breaking. Ah, this is what we're gonna scan. The ancient ship structure, I see. Alright, so now I can show you guys this minigame. I believe this minigame is just called hacking. Let's see. Have to have it targeted and use the scanner on it. Yep, this is the hacking minigame. So you start out at a location. You have to uncover these little things until you find the core, I suppose. 2, 2, 1. No. 1. No. Oh, I found it. And then once you find the core, you just literally beat it up with your virus. And you have like health and damage statistics that are raised by your hacking skills, actually. And then once you hack it, you get access to its cargo hold, and then you get to loot it. See? Loot. Yay! I can't even use this. The tutorial mission is going to give me something I can't even use until I'm an Omega. That's fucked. Not that I even plan on doing any industry, really, but you never know. It's nice to have. I just got to the end of the business storyline, and it gave me a brand new task. You can actually get blueprints. And now this was actually really confusing. They did not explain this well at all. You can get these blueprints, and then you have to get the resources associated with them. These blueprints have runs, which basically means uses. This has 200 uses. He wants me to run it 10 times. He didn't say that though, so I then made the mistake of buying enough materials for runs for 200, so I did waste some money. And doing 10 runs, I'll make this much stuff, which he wants. The reason I'm doing it like this is because he also wants it in a time limit. But yeah, this is another interesting, unique thing you can do in this game. So far, we've seen mining, combat, hacking, exploration, trading, and we're not even through the first career agent yet. One is. So occasionally you get missions and you have to pay collateral in case you fail them. Kind of like, hey, you pay me money so that if you don't get the job done, I don't lose out on my investment in you or even trusting you with the mission. You know, it's just that kind of stupid thing. And for this tutorial mission, they only charge 1. It's kind of weird. You'd think that might be like an example of collateral, but they've already charged me far more than 1 in other tutorial missions. So I don't quite understand that. So I've run into a bit of an interesting predicament in the career quests. I found a quest that wants me to have 7,000 of tritanium, which is a really common ore. that it's what you reprocess from mining. And I have it, but it's not detecting it. It wants me to go to the location first. When I get to the location, it tells me I need to have 7,000 in my cargo hold. Well, this is my cargo hold. I have 7,000 in it. And as you see, it still wants me to say that. I've tried going back here, and it just tells me to warp out here again. So there's some other trigger that it's not telling me, and I don't like that this game isn't telling me what triggers are actually in place for the quest. I don't know if it wants me to fight and then mine a little bit, but I'm going to try that. But it really should just be clear on what it wants you to do. Wow, those guys actually hurt my ship a little bit. Well, I say a little bit. They drained more than half of my shields. I forgot to fire at them for a little bit there, but... Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, they didn't want me to have the titanium. They wanted me to kill the guards here. That is annoying. The quest only said I needed 7,000 titanium, but I actually had to kill the guards at this little ore instance. That's annoying.
Warp drive active.
Because, by the way, you can't actually hold this much with the mining ship they give you before this. This is too much. You're not allowed to hold this. You can only hold 5,000. So I had to do this in a ship that doesn't have an ore hold, so I couldn't actually mine this here. And you can't reprocess anyway. So the objective of this fucking quest made no sense. So far, this is probably one of my only negative experiences in the game. But damn, that was annoying. I thought I was gonna have to, like, give up on the quest until much later, but that didn't make any sense. They just didn't fucking tell you how to do it correctly. So here's just something I want to mention as part of my first impressions is, I wish I knew this at the beginning. It's probably very, very vital to get out of the starting corporation as fast as you can, and just into any generic 0% tax corporation. Just so that while you're doing all your tutorial missions and anything afterwards, especially as an alpha, you're getting all your reward money, because the starting factions have a 11% tax, and there exists noob-friendly corporations that cannot be declared war on, that are literally just there to provide you like opportunities in what you want to do and no taxes. Very vital. I would definitely recommend, if you're starting the game, that you get yourself into one of those corporations. Definitely. I know I would have saved a lot of money had I done that before doing 1.5 chains of career missions and my entire tutorial. Of course, that everything I didn't save is all chump change in the grand scheme of things, but as an alpha, you know, it's kind of important. So I went on playing Eve for about another week. I didn't actually do a lot in that week, mostly just the day after. What were my first impressions, the pros and the cons? Let's start with what was good about the game. I want to emphasize the most important thing in the pros category, and that would be that this game is gigantic. There are countless things for you to do in Eve, and you have the complete freedom to do it, whether you want to mine, you want to fight pirates, fight for one of the Empire factions, be an explorer going after lost shipwrecks or stations that are now derelict and potentially containing loot, jump into wormholes and see what lies in those. You want to run your own corporation, be a trader, be a hauler, go into space that has no empires and start one of your own. This game has literally countless things for you to do. I literally cannot emphasize that more if I tried. There's also a fuck ton of ships in the game that you can train into and buy and find, and they're constantly adding more and balancing them. And I didn't actually show this, but you can customize your ships with countless modules. and in that way set up any ship for your own personal playstyle, even ones that are meant for other purposes. There are meta ways to set up everything, but you don't have to follow them, and that's the beauty of it. The game's graphics are pretty amazing, would be another pro, and the performance is, well, great. I didn't encounter any crashes or any frame drops of any kind with maxed out settings. And emphasizing how good the graphics look here I think is pretty important considering this game came out in 2003. It also had a far more robust character creator than I expected. Much better than anything from 2003. Not the best for today. I've seen better, but I've seen a lot worse. Usually worse, so I have to give some props here to the character creator. It's definitely above average. And now, this is a first impressions of the free-to-play model of the game, what you'd expect as an alpha clone. So I'd like to include as a pro that everything can be earned in-game. You can earn every ship, every weapon, every module, player-owned structures, your own empire. Anything you can get in this game, you can earn through exclusively just playing the game. Your Omega subscription, extra skill points, literally anything. It can all be earned through playing the game. You do not need to spend a penny. Now, does that mean that's the optimal way to play the game? No, not at all. In fact, from what I'm seeing, with the amount of limitations on alpha clones, it would be a lot easier if you just suck it up, put some money into the game, and then get yourself a stable character where you can then earn your subscription. That initial investment seems very necessary, but you definitely don't need it. I've heard many people have earned their Omega subscription from Alpha, and I plan on actually trying to do the same thing. If you guys want to hear about that maybe later on in some more videos, let me know, but for now, let's move on to the cons. The biggest con of EVE Online, which is also kind of definitive of EVE Online, is, I'd say, the training system. Now, the good thing about the training system is that you don't need to grind away training skills yourself, like you would in RuneScape, for example. It does it automatically. The downside is it takes forever, especially as an alpha clone. You have half the training rate of an Omega clone. They say the Omega clone has 2 times the rate, but that's bullshit. You have half the rate of them. You are going at 0.5, not 1. They are going at 1, not 2. Otherwise, to train your skills, you need skill points. Those are like 1 billion for 500,000 skill points, billion-isk, or otherwise however much Plex, which is the premium currency. You need to be patient for this kind of training system, or be willing to grind away to get the ISK to speed it up, or be willing to throw in money in order to speed it up. That's my biggest con of the game. The training takes forever. So if you need instant gratification, this game is not for you. The menus in the game are sometimes smaller than I'd hope they'd be. The text in them, like quest dialogue and stuff, always seems smaller than I'd be comfortable reading. And I wish I could increase it, but from what I've seen, there isn't a way to increase it. The text for certain missions can also be rather unclear. More than what I showed on screen, I had troubles with missions, so this can definitely be improved, but I don't think it's really going to be. And finally, the damn controls of the game, especially the default hotkey setup. You can tell this game is from 2003. The control scheme makes no sense with your keyboard. With the mouse, it's mostly fine. You know, you can do pretty much everything with your mouse, but for ease of play, if you don't want to rely on your mouse, you're going to need to spend some time changing your hotkeys, because the default ones are terrible. Almost everything is a combination of like Control-Shift-W, Alt-Control-X, like holy shit, it's bad. Otherwise on the controls, this is just a personal complaint. I didn't like the mouse controls by default. To look around, you need to drag with a left click. I'm used to doing that with a right click on MMOs, whereas the right click is just a look around that snaps you back immediately. I didn't really like that. and zooming in and out, it feels inversed, and you can't inverse it to get it back to how things normally go. That's unfortunate, but it's a little thing. And those are pretty much my first impressions. My final thoughts after this first week is I fucking love this game. And I plan on playing a lot more of it. And if you guys want to join me, remember, my referral link is in the description below. You get like 3 weeks worth of skill points just for using it. So I definitely recommend checking it out. If you want to come play with me, you can do so. Want to talk to me and tell me you've activated it or hang out in game? In the description as well, we have our community overtone server linked. That's where you can come chat with us. It's available on mobile, browser, and desktop app. Hope you guys enjoyed this first impressions. Hopefully gonna do a lot more of these. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.